Montgomery.
Okay, we're going to get started. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, recommend a motion to approve the July 22nd, 2019 agenda.
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any questions?
Nope.
No questions?
All right, Mr. Balone is marked absent this evening. Mr. Dowia?
Yes.
Ms. Januzzi will also be marked absent this evening. Dr. Gross?
Here.
Mrs. Palin?
Here.
Mr. Zimmerman?
Yes.
Mr. Moncrief?
Yes.
We have quorum, that motion carries.
Recommend a motion to approve the July 22nd minutes. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? No questions?
Mr. Dowia?
Yes.
Dr. Gross?
Yes.
Mrs. Palin?
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman?
Yes.
Mr. Moncrief?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving on, we have one presentation tonight.
Good evening. I'm Erin Litzmolder, Director of Special Services, and I'm going to review our comprehensive equity plan and affirmative action for the district. Thank you. So our comprehensive equity plan is something that we do every 3 years. And it really just gives us an opportunity to review our affirmative action policies and procedures in the district and making sure that we have equal access with equal rights with no limitations for our students and staff. For the comprehensive equity plan, we had an affirmative action team that met that was comprised of community members, members of our staff, and administrators. We did a needs assessment and reviewed our policies. We had 0 areas that were identified as needing a corrective action, which is great. Next year, I will no longer be the affirmative action officer for this coming school year, so it will be Mrs. Trizolino and Mr. Yates. We had one investigation this year for affirmative action, and it was determined to be a conflict and not a violation of civil rights, so we did not have to have a hearing. And some of the follow-up actions that we did for this complaint included having the parties involved review our policies, review what affirmative action means, and our presentation that we provide to the staff every year. They had to review that and just review best practices on upholding people's civil rights. And we will continue to review our practices and make sure that we are respecting all backgrounds equally and giving equal access to everything in our district for parents, staff, and students. Does anybody have any questions?
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Sure.
Next, we have the superintendent report.
All right, school reopens in 3 weeks. Thank you to Seth Cole, the maintenance and custodial staff. They've done a phenomenal job cleaning, painting, moving, and being very tolerant of another school district, hanging out with us all summer. Another special thanks to the administrative team, technology, and the secretarial staff that have all been very busy preparing for our upcoming school year. A mailing is going out to parents in the upcoming week, and teachers will be allowed in the building the week of August 26th if they wish to prepare their classrooms, and we are looking forward to an exciting school year.
Next, we have resident forum for agenda items only at this time. The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express with each statement made by a participant limited to 3 minutes, as cited in policy number 167. The public may comment on any agenda item at this time. General public comment will occur later in the meeting. Since there's really not many people from the public here, I'm assuming there's no comment. We'll move on to board work session.
All right, board work session. We have no policies to be reviewed for this evening. As we have discussed earlier, we are increasing the salaries for our nurse assistants effective September 1st. We are also increasing the cafeteria playground aid hours from 3 to 3.5 hours per day, which will give us more assistance in both of those areas. We are increasing our substitute teacher per diem rate from $85 to $95. So if anyone is listening, or if anyone knows anyone that wants to be a substitute teacher, please reach out to Jackie Tresolino or stop in the board office, and we'd love to have you be a substitute teacher in our district. Or a substitute nurse, paraprofessional, we can use the help. You'll see on the agenda for tonight a new stipend position, a social and emotional after-school program coordinator. Ms. Guinan was able to get creative with some of her stipend funds and create this position, so we're looking forward to that. We also have an amended district calendar with one less parent-teacher conference on there, giving teachers more time to get to know their students, and there is now an early dismissal prior to the winter break due to the fact that Pinelands has that early dismissal also. We want to be consistent with them for sibling purposes. The last thing I'd like to discuss with the board is a possible change in Board of Education meeting times, and I wanted your opinions on that. Now we start at 6 o'clock, we have executive at 5. So one of the things I was throwing out there is possibly starting our official meeting at 5:30, so it gives some of our little ones extra time to get home, do their homework after, have dinner, and it's less disruptive to their family, and we can start executive at 5. So we wouldn't have to spend, the hour we don't typically use the entire time. If there was some reason why we went later, we could always go back into executive after the meeting if need be. But what are your thoughts on perhaps changing our meeting times to 5:30 instead of 6?
Definitely.
Good. Is that bad for anyone?
Worst case scenario, you would just start the public meeting a little late
If we ran over an executive. All right, so we'll have to re-advertise for that next month, yes. That's all I have. There were no questions on the district website for this month.
Okay. Moving on to finance items, number 12 on the agenda. Recommend motion to approve finance items A through T.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? No questions?
All right, Mr. Dalio.
Yes.
Dr. Gross.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Mr. Mock.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Facilities items number 13, recommend motion to approve facilities items A through F. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
I got Ms. Powell on the first.
Any questions? No questions?
Mr. Dalio.
Yes.
Dr. Gross.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Mr. Mock.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Technology, item 14, recommend motion to approve technology items A through C. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? No
Mr.
questions?
Dalio.
Yes.
Dr. Gross.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Mr. Mock.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We have one item of new business, recommend motion to amend the agenda to approve the following recommendations of the superintendent of schools. Approve Jennifer Cisco, full-time special education paraprofessional, day off with pay on February 7th, 2019. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Next question. All right. Mr. Dalio.
Yes.
Dr. Gross.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes.
And Mr. Moncrief. That motion's going to carry.
Yes. Informational items, the following items are presented for informational purposes only. Community school financials, correspondence from Mr. Cole, facilities manager, financials from NutriServe Food Management for June 2019. Personnel, item number 17, recommend motion to approve personnel items 1 through 15. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? No questions?
Mr. Dalio.
Yes.
Dr. Gross.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Motion carries. Oh, sorry, Mr. Moncrief.
Wow, that was
That's right.
Yes.
For the record, my apologies.
Item 18, recommend motion to approve harassment, intimidation, and bullying cases as per executive session. Is there a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any questions? No questions?
Mr. Dalio.
Yes.
Dr. Gross.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Mr. Moncrief.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 19, recommend motion to approve policies and procedures, items A through L. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? No questions?
Mr. Dalio?
Yes.
Dr. Gross?
Yes.
Mrs. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman?
Yes.
Mr. Moncrief?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moving on to public comment. The floor is now open to members of the public. The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express their opinion with each statement made by a participant limited to 3 minutes as cited in policy 167. There is a sign-in sheet located at the podium. Please sign in before you speak. Does anyone from the public that is not really here tonight wish to speak? No. Moving on to board forum. Mr. Dalio? Nothing? Mr. Zimmerman?
Nope.
Any questions, Mr. Mayor?
No question.
Dr. Gross?
Building's looking in good shape as I walk through here, and good luck over the next 4 weeks.
Oh, we got this.
Ms. Palin?
Nothing, I don't want to slow things up.
I have nothing to add. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second?
That's
Second.
6:11, 6:11.
Where's my second? Hold on, I don't have a second.
Second.
Still. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 6:11.
That's all right.
Job.
You're way too much.